Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to join the community debate, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate Forum, which you should definitely all join. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by 10th Man, Ranty Flat Earth, Righteous Force, The One, Jibby Jedi, Chocolate Saiyan, Brian and Arwin in G+. Very good to have you one and all.
Good afternoon.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello, and we've also got a whole bunch of people in Discord as well. Good to have you.
Greetings from Discord.
So, any evidence of any viable hypothesis from any of the fields of astronomy, cosmology, or astrophysics?
Still waiting.
Is this a new one?
It is.
Ah.
Good to have you, by the way, Ranty. Nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to be here. So, how's this new one come about?
So, about a
Still
month
waiting.
ago. Right, maybe QE, can you tell us?
It's always been here. It's just the first time that I actually said it.
We've voiced in the past, Ranty, that there is no scientific evidence of a sphere Earth. And the sphere Earth priesthood is astronomy, cosmology, and astrophysics. Shout out to Good Servant for the super chat. Really appreciate your support. So we'll rattle through the other housekeeping questions, but I'm going to draw a little bit more focus to typically the second question in the housekeeping arsenal. So we'll rattle through the other ones hopefully relatively quickly, unless there's discussion to have. Any signs of Earth curvature?
Not from Santa Barbara.
Nope. Not from Blackpool.
I found some curvature.
Cool. Where'd you find
Oh,
curvature?
God.
Yeah, we got curvature.
Where's that then? You want to tell us about it?
That means you, airline pilot.
Don't be shy. We're waiting.
We're all sitting in
any
suspense,
evidence?
waiting to hear about this curvature.
We're not going to. Any evidence of the distance to the sun?
Nope.
For a distance, you gotta prove proximity first, and would be nice if somebody proved you can approach it anyway empirically. It would be nice.
So you're telling me that after a year, these globs haven't come up with an answer for this yet?
Distance to the sun? No, they have to just presuppose an R value, a spherical Earth.
Well, isn't there plenty of globs in the Discord that could answer that?
Yeah.
I like it, Granty. Globs.
Is that Aaron Benjamin?
That's
Where's
red
that
pill,
come-
right?
Who's the originator of that?
I gotta start using that shit.
Where's that come from? Is it Aaron Benjamin?
Nah, I
Yes,
heard
for
red pill say it
signs of
first.
curvature. No, proof.
Yeah, what's your sign of Earth curve?
I like
It gets pitch
globulars.
black at night.
It's what at night, sorry?
It gets dark at night.
Pitch dark at night. Pitch black. There you go. Curvature.
You'll have to pad that out for me. I don't understand.
Wow. This is going to be
I don't know why
fun.
you're laughing. I don't get it. It gets dark at night.
We
That's
got a
proof
donut
of-
challenge.
Don't get it. You'll have to explain.
The sun went behind the curve. What else is there to get?
Oh, the sun went behind a
That's why it gets dark.
presupposition that Earth is curved. That's you presupposing Earth's curved, mate.
No.
The sun went
You
behind
asked for
Earth's
science
curve.
curvature. I gave it to you.
Do you want to
Why does it
expand
get
on it?
dark on a flat Earth? It doesn't.
Do you want to expand on that, or just talk every time I try and reply? Go ahead. Expand on how you presupposing that it's gone behind an Earth curve. You understand that you said it goes behind Earth curve, and that's your presupposition. If you don't, I'll explain that to you.
Why does it get dark on a flat Earth?
Well,
Don't
you
ask
tell
me
us,
something.
it's your
Sorry,
claim.
you've made a claim, and now I'm trying to explain to you why your claim is
It wouldn't
wrong.
get dark on a flat
It
Earth.
doesn't mean that every time I open my mouth, you need to start talking again. So, do you not understand why that's fallacious reasoning? I've tried to highlight it by saying, when you use the words behind Earth curve, that is your presupposition. Don't ask me something about how it should work on a model you're going to hold up in false dichotomy with this shite. Just say yes. I understand that when I say behind Earth curve, that I'm presupposing Earth's a sphere and it's got curve rather than proving it. Do you not get that?
I wanted to weigh in on flying around the curvature part while maintaining 2.5 to 3 degrees nose up.
Oh god.
The airplane always flies 3 degrees nose up.
That's all I need
Is
to
that
hear.
while pitching
That's
down?
all I need to hear. The plane always flies nose up. So it's not descending around any curve then. That's the end of that. We already got this concession. It's nice that, like Rumpus and a few others, you've picked up on this little trick where they start with the devastating part of your argument first. Like I'm going to miss it. Yeah, so really? Planes always fly nose up? Well, surely they'd need to be descending around the drop of the Earth curve now, wouldn't they? Like Polaris does.
Hang on a sec there, sunshine.
Yeah, shut up. Shouldn't it be nosing down or descending, though? Nosing up isn't scrubbing off the drop of a curved Earth, is it?
Why
He
would
just
you have to
diverted.
descend to fly around the curve?
He just
Because that's what you'd do if it was curving. You'd be descending around Earth curve. But according to your just declaration of a moment ago, you're always flying nose up. Oh, well, that proves Earth's flat, doesn't it? Amazing. Not dropping in altitude to match the drop of the Earth curve you presuppose is there. Oh, well, that's a very clean and concise flat Earth proof then.
The pilot
think
guy,
so.
how would a plane flying from London to Perth land in Perth if it doesn't nose down?
Because if it nose down, it would descend, and it flies in level flight
Garrett,
around
he
the
diverted
curve
away
of
from
the
the
globe.
topic.
That's the end of that
Because
argument.
if it
This
goes
is the end
down,
of the
it would
argument again.
descend.
It flies in
That's the
level flight. Level flight, not descending. That's a flat Earth proof you've got there, my friend.
But he literally tried to
flies in
defend it by
level
saying
flight
if you
around the curved
nose
surface.
down, you would be just descending.
Yeah.
Isn't that your whole point?
Isn't there supposed to be drop that you descend
What the
around?
fuck?
He's pushing the level curve
No,
again.
you don't.
Do
If
you
drop,
understand
then
if
you
you
lose
go
your
up,
altitude. That
you
makes no
gotta
sense.
come down? Do you know if you go up, you gotta come down? That's called descent. Do you ever descend or you always flying?
It's the level which is changing. You fly level, but it's the definition. It's the level which is changing as you.
Oh, I see. Like Kosho earlier, when I pointed out there was no drop in Google Earth, he said, no, that level is actually based on it being completely in line with the radius at all points. So, like earlier, when you use night and dark as a presupposition that Earth is curving, this too would also presuppose that levels actually parallel with a curved surface based on an R value. Just like Kosho used in the pre-show then.
That's correct.
Not correct, you fucking fundy fucktard! Not correct! You're begging the question fallacy! How stupid are these people? You point out that their fallacious reasoning is fallacious, and their answer to you is, yeah. That's exactly how I beg the question. Not correct! A logical fallacy! You complete moron!
I mean, we are talking to the guy that pitches down while nosing up and,
No,
and level at the
he's
same
conceded
time.
that. He conceded that here. That double speak got unpacked
Yeah.
ages ago, and then I shouted at him when he tried to reassert it. Today, he's just made a very clear declaration. He's nosing up 2 to 3 degrees as he flies level. That's what he said today.
I'm flying level around the curve.
Yeah, around your presupposition. So you're not dropping, but you presuppose that you don't need to drop because you beg the question of a sphere Earth. So it's always perpendicular to your begging the question fallacy. Are these people really this retarded? Even when you lay out the logical fallacy in all its details, they go, yeah, that's exactly how I beg the question.
How do you
It's
fly
our
level
base level.
around the curve? How do you fly level around the curve?
You don't, it's a contradiction in terms, Ranty.
Rancy, you didn't know level curves are the new
Earth's
thing
surface,
in
which is curvy.
2019.
So you always level the Earth's surface, but the Earth's surface.
So, new fundy moron. What are you going to do? Just circle jerk us around with the same assertion? You presuppose level is actually curved. Yet we know you begged the question of an R value. We know. We did it with Kosho earlier. Weren't you listening? We know you've got a religious belief in R. We already know that. Saying, well, I've got a religious belief in R as your justification is garbage. Are you really this stupid?
Yes.
Why the guy to fly from
And why do
London
the
to
stars
Paris?
all go up?
1 second.
Did you
Why
watch the
guy-
video?
To fly from London, 1 second, I'm speaking. To fly from London to Perth, the reason I use that for you is because you have to go past the equator line. And that means that you won't be upside down because it's only about 33 degrees south of the equator on the globe. But the thing about it is, you won't be upside down, but you certainly won't be level. You have to be at an angle flying into land in Perth International. There is no way around that. What you're trying to push will work for you mentally for like 100 miles from London Airport. After that, it won't work. It won't work at all, but it'll work for you mentally. But you can't fly past the equator and pretend you're not upside down, or at least heading for upside down.
Antipodal. Get a lot of dicks in the chat, Brian. If you don't say antipodal, they'll say he doesn't understand just because you've used upside down rather than antipode.
Well,
Yeah, well, I don't live on a globe, Nathan, and neither do you, so we don't have to say it.
I agree. I totally agree, and I would also say upside down. I'm just saying it for the commenters, who will no doubt give you shit for that one word.
They don't matter. Thanks, anyway.
Can't believe the
I've been
arguments have
waiting for
regressed
his
so
proof of
in
darkness.
2 months.
I've been waiting for the curve is proved by darkness. That's what I've been waiting for.
Well, he begged the question and said when it goes over Earth's curvature.
No, darkness. He said the Earth's curve because of darkness.
Yeah, because it gets dark at night, so therefore globe.
That's pretty. I see what you're saying, Kiwi. That's non sequitur. Yeah, I did ask him to pad it out, but we just got straight to the begging the question part and then moved on.
No, he diverted away.
I'm done. I'm done with this. This is nonsense.
We're
Ruby,
looking
they
for
can beg the
answers here,
questions.
guys. Answers. These aren't answers. These idiots are coming on and telling us that level is curved.
Yeah.
Where's the answers? Jeez.
R-based curved.
It seems I've stepped away for 2 months. I come back. It seems like the arguments have regressed.
They have. You're right.
Yeah, you're actually right, Rancy.
Well,
They don't know what to do anymore with these regular arguments. Now they're regressing.
Did you catch?
Yeah, or
did you
they-
catch time and space as donuts?
Yeah.
I sometimes get the feeling that they're literally trying to approach us with, oh, come on, why can't we beg the question? Why is that not okay? I get the feeling that they really
that's
don't
okay.
understand.
Go somewhere else.
But,
Go
what
somewhere
the
else with
point
that.
is,
Not coming here with that shit.
I think they really don't understand why they're not allowed to beg the question.
They cannot post a single viable scientific hypothesis for any of their claims. Then natural law goes against them. So they're only left to obfuscation, fallacies, and comments. Kosho would not post and cite the hypothesis. He wanted to explain it. We didn't want him explaining it in the pre-show. So this is what we get. Just post your hypothesis, make sure it's repeatable and it's done through the scientific method. If you ain't got it, just say you ain't got it. And then let's go to natural law and see how that kills you. So what do you have left at the end of the day when natural law and the absence of a hypothesis? What do you have, Globers?
Flat Earth.
Well, it wouldn't even be that serious. I mean, they would just have to post a hypothesis and then post the experiment that validates it. It's okay. It's simple. But why is it not that simple? I don't get that.
Well, this is why they argue for 40 minutes on an airplane nose up when QE, I remember on the show, said that at a 500-mile airspeed, it would have to drop 2,700 plus feet every minute. Well, I never have experienced any of that. And I've flown a lot.
I would love the
Excuse
math
me.
on the Concorde that does about 1,200 miles per hour flying from London to New York.
Then wouldn't you be on an
The MiG-25 Foxbat. The
Excuse me.
MiG-25.
Hold on
the
one
Foxbat
second. Hold on
flies
one
at
second.
Over 40 miles.
Sorry,
an hour.
Brian.
Right.
This,
I'm in.
somebody's trying to get a word in from Discord. Go ahead, whoever it was in Discord.
Yeah, yes, sir. Somebody just mentioned that the airplane would have to drop 2,000 feet per minute if it was flying around the curve. Just one question: drop relative to what?
To where he started.
But we don't measure vertical speed or altitude relative to where we started. We measure altitude from the surface of Earth. So if
That's
you
'cause you don't have
drop
to measure.
relative to
Right,
the surface
which
of Earth,
you don't have a
you
drop.
would eventually descend into the Earth.
I see.
Do you measure a drop?
No, he's
Sorry.
right. Hold on. Just let him have his moment. Yeah, you're correct. So you're saying you measure it to the surface of Earth as you travel, and you presuppose that surface is curved, correct?
I don't presuppose. I know it's curved.
Yeah. See, this is the problem. Whoever asked earlier, why is it that they don't appreciate, or I think it was Arwin, it was like, why don't they just say, look, why can't I beg the question? No. In this moron's mind, Earth's already a sphere. So it's perfectly justifiable for him to start with the presupposition Earth's a sphere, and that's his justification, because we already know. No, starting by asserting that you already know is the very definition of begging the question. But this moron will never understand that. It's probably one of the most simple logical fallacies, begging the question, to understand. But these morons don't understand it, because it's too cognitively painful. Because it's their religion. The begging the question part. The assumption Earth is a sphere already is the definition of this fallacy, mate.
Would you like to know how I know it's a sphere?
Yeah, because it gets dark.
Yeah.
Because it gets dark and you
does get
presuppose,
dark.
what, the
But
sun
that's not
moves
how I
over
know
a
it's a sphere.
curve. Yeah, because you presuppose Earth's moving over a curved surface. So you're begging the questions there in this example too. We covered this.
Just let me know when you want me.
We don't
Just
want
let me
anything
know
from
what-
you, you're a moron. Why do these people, when they're getting smashed, and I'm demolishing their utter horse crap, say, let me know when you want to spout more shite from me? No, I don't want you to talk ever again. I wouldn't give a shit if you never came. You're a moron.
Hang on, the show's been going for 3 years, Nathan. I think it's time we got some proof, yeah? So go ahead. About your
I
proof.
think it's time. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. The reason I know that it's a sphere is because of horizon drop. Horizon drop is the angle you measure between eye level and the horizon. And the horizon drop increases with the viewer height. As you increase your height, the more horizon drop you get.
Horizon
can do the
drop is
math.
an oxymoron.
Yeah, what a moron.
Okay,
Can I
What's the
respond
do
to
the
that?
math
Let's reach some
on
terms.
the amount of
Pilot,
horizon
what's the
drop
horizon?
and establish your R value. And
Yeah,
add
it's
Define
not
horizon.
It's not listening now. What's the horizon?
How about we just stick to the issue of horizon drop?
Yeah, what is the horizon?
I'm not going to get into
You're not going to get into it? Sorry, everyone shut up. We'll have a moment's silence while you don't get into it then. You fucking moron.
Whoa. I don't think that's called for. I just told you.
Yeah, fucking moron! The horizons are not actual location. You think I give two flying fucks what the not actual location's doing when you measure it? You stupid shit for brains. Yet what, you're not going to get into the not actual position of the horizon that you're measuring? You're a moron. You're measuring not actual locations. What kind of stupid shit are you? Yeah, I'll call you a fucking moron, because that's what you are. Not get into it. Yet you know you're going to get bent over and spanked, mate. Not actual locations getting measured to prove an R value. What kind of fucking moron are you? Moron.
You're gonna have to.
Moron.
Guy,
Moron.
Said no swearing.
You're
So,
a moron. You're a moron. You're a moron. You're measuring not actual locations, moron. Are you a moron? Are you stupid? Repeat after me. The horizon is a not actual location. You can't measure not actual locations to prove things. Repeat after me, you stupid Dumbo.
No, you're out.
I'm out? No, I'm pummeling you. You're not going to get an R value from measuring a not actual location, you stupid shit for brains.
Whoa, pump the brakes there, silly.
No. You're not going to get an R value from measuring horizon drop when it's a not actual location. You're a moron. Hello? Moron. That's you. The guy measuring a not actual location? Because he's a moron? That'd be you. Moron.
Just let me know when you want to hear about the actual location of the horizon.
It's not an actual location. You're a moron. How many times do I need to tell you you're a moron?
Well, just let me know.
Okay, you're a moron. It's not an actual location.
Prove it.
You do realize what you think is the horizon. What do you think is the horizon? Or what do you think it is?
Well, shut up. Mute the one who's being obnoxious there. Let me tell you about it.
You're the one that they're speaking. It's the definition of horizon, you clown.
Let me tell you a little bit about the horizon.
We don't want to hear your story about the horizon, clown. We want to hear about the Earth is curved because it's dark.
Talking, now you say you don't want.
We want to hear the Earth is curved because it's dark.
Can you post a third-party hypothesis rather than you babbling on?
Tens, I bet you he doesn't even know what a hypothesis is.
Well,
he doesn't know what a horizon is. Define horizon.
Do you jokers even know
define
the
horizon
distance to the horizon and why?
Cite it, please.
Why does the distance to the horizon increase?
Go ahead and define it and then cite it right here in live stream.
Do you know?
Define it and then cite it right here in live stream.
The distance to the horizon.
Pilot. What's the horizon, altitude? Airline pilot?
He's not going to answer.
That's all for him.
Yeah, I agree.
He will get the most respect from this panel when he posts a proper hypothesis for what he's saying. But if he's going to babble on with his commentary, he's no different than Kosho and everybody else.
He just said that. Do we realize that the horizon changes in distance when you rise higher? Something along those lines.
Yeah, we realise it's not actual location.
That would mean it's not an actual location, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Chocolate and Brian. Sorry to interrupt. I'm just going to read out Issa Mahalski's super chat. Go and subscribe to him, by the way. Issa makes great music. You should check out his channel. Right-click on his little 3 dots and go to channel. Subscribe today. FE is the Donald Trump of cosmology. Limp-wristed lefties hate it and get wrecked. Fire. Thank you very much, Issa Mahalski. Really appreciate your support.
And I'll just say that the perceived horizon changes day to day. You know, it's never always in the same position, which tells you that it can never be a place that you can plot using something like a theodolite or anything like that.
Well, Ranty, he's also saying that level is curved. And so if he's saying that he's going to fly a distance of said miles, and the plane automatically stays level to a curved Earth, then why is it that Neil deGrasse Tyson says the higher you go, you still see flat?
Indeed. Can I just answer this Jim Morrison for a second? He keeps spamming me. He's saying level is perpendicular to the line that goes straight down from the Earth's surface. Have the bollocks to address this. Well, I'm addressing it, and I'll also address the fact that he quoted himself saying that the 3 degrees up, he is going 3 degrees up with the front of his plane, which is impossible for that to happen, Jim. Well done.
This horizon argument that they are going on with, that he just had there about this horizon drop. Basically, what that argument is he's basically asking, When he flies 5 miles or 6 miles above the ocean, how come the ocean is 5 or 6 miles below him? That's basically what they're asking. It's like, I'm 6 miles above the ocean. Come the ocean is 6 miles below me. It must be a ball. That's basically, that's what he's asking. Does he expect that on a flat Earth that the ocean is going to rise up to the bottom of the plane or something?
Well, that's when it comes down to semantics, right? When people say the horizon rises up to eye level. Well, if you're at 35,000 feet, it's not at eye level because your eye would be 35,000 feet higher than the ground.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna dip because you're 35,000 feet above it.
Yeah,
but it
that's
doesn't.
exactly.
It doesn't fall
That's
away.
point.
Yeah, but it doesn't fall away like a ball is supposed to do.
Yeah.
So it's just a semantical bullshit argument from them.
I made a
would
video
you
on
like
it.
the
Sorry,
true
I
answer?
took it.
Would you like?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Space-time
Would you like the
donut.
actual answer?
No, why,
You know,
Brenda again?
yesterday, Brendan, you really embarrassed yourself.
Would
Can
you-
just sit on the side
Okay.
today? Thank you.
Would you
because
like the
embarrassed
actual
yourself
answer to
yesterday.
the horizon question here?
Unless
I
you
wouldn't.
brought
Not
that
from
box
you,
of,
at least.
unless you brought that
Yeah,
box
what's
of
the definition?
holes.
Well, define
The
it first,
definition.
please.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
The definition of the true horizon is a line of sight from an observation point that is a tangent line to a sphere.
Wrong. Horizon is the apparent line that separates the Earth from the sky.
No,
Yeah.
no, that's the visible horizon. That's not the.
Oh, sorry. She meant
There's another horizon.
Yeah, there is.
Visible one?
Yeah, there's
There's
a
the one
begging
in
the
the
question.
donut.
Yes, there's a begging the question horizon where they assume Earth's a sphere first. That's her begging the question
No,
horizon.
that's just what it's. That's not a begging the question. That's not begging the question. You
Sorry,
don't understand.
Did you say
these things?
a tangent to a sphere? You said a tangent to a sphere, did you not? You said a tangent to a sphere.
Definitions can't beg the question, Nate.
Yeah, they can.
I've got 4 of them right here that says it's the apparent.
Can.
I've got 4 definitions right here of the horizon. I'll give them to you. It's the apparent, from your alma mater wiki, is the apparent line that separates the Earth from the sky, which you said no. So you're not agreeing with your alma mater. Dictionary.com, the line or circle that forms the apparent boundary between Earth and the sky. Merriam-Webster, the line where the Earth seems to meet the sky, the apparent junction of the Earth and sky. Oxford Dictionary's horizon, the line at which the Earth's surface and sky appear to meet. Thank you.
Right. So I can give the formula for the true horizon if you like. I mean, it's based on strict geometry and
Brenda,
trigonometry.
did you not cast the common denominator in all those definitions John just read out to you? Did you not catch that?
We
'Cause
don't
you
really
went right back
do
to saying
things by
true horizon
looking up,
when each one of those
definitions.
definitions described it as an apparent location. So maybe you seem to be
they're
slightly
wrong.
They're
confused.
wrong.
They're wrong.
Yeah, I'm right. I'm right.
Oh, so please
I'm right,
cite the
and
correct
those
definition for
quotations
horizon.
are wrong.
Okay.
Those citations are
Yeah,
please
wrong.
cite.
I'm right.
And you're a moron.
I don't have to.
If those,
I don't
if
have
those-
to cite anything. I can just give you.
I don't
the
have to
correct
cite anything. I could just.
You've said the
spew.
citation's given a wrong, Brenda.
Yes,
So
I can.
are you saying
I can do
that when they describe the horizon as an apparent position where the sky meets the ground, are you saying it's an actual reified sphere edge?
So, for any observer standing on a spherical object, there is a circle which defines.
That's what I just said. So it is actually your reified sphere edge then. So precisely, you could have just said yes. Yes, Nathan. I presuppose it's the edge of a sphere. Yes, you could have said. Rather than detailing you reifying the edge of a sphere and saying that on the edge of any sphere, yeah, that's your reification and begging the question fallacy. So you are automatically assuming the surface we stand on is a spherical surface then.
I'm defining.
No, you're automatically assuming that you are standing on a spherical surface. You've just detailed what happens on a spherical surface. Ergo, you will be assuming we are standing on a spherical surface. That would be begging the question.
No, I'm not assuming.
Yeah, you are. You've just detailed what happens on a spherical surface. So that unless this is translatable to nothing in reality, and therefore completely moot, you will be begging the question that the surface we're standing on is spherical. I assure you.
No, I'm not. I'm defining what a true horizon is.
Yeah, a true horizon. The horizon we see. So in reality, we see a horizon. According to Brenda, it's what we see when standing on a sphere. Just you're bloody begging the question.
Brenda, where would I
No,
go
it's not.
to go and see?
Yeah, it is. No, it's not. Yes, it is. It's your assumption that the description you're giving of what happens on a sphere is the true, which it's not, horizon. I.e. the thing we see is based on being on a sphere. How many times? I'm not going to do this 5 more times. I'm not going to get annoyed with you. Except that you describing a sphere horizon as the actual horizon is merely your ham-handed way of reifying your presupposition of a sphere Earth.
It's not a reification fallacy. You
Yeah,
don't
fuck it
So
is.
understand.
now
Shut
you
up.
don't understand.
Yeah, piss
Yep.
off. Piss off. End of
Goodbye.
time here. Yeah, it is a reification. Your reification of a sphere model. You're saying if this happens on a sphere, the horizon will be as such. That's a reification and begging the question fallacy. Simple. Don't have to like it.
Yep. This is 3rd grade stuff.
Pathetic. Rinse and repeat. Come back with the regression arguments from about a year and a half, 2 years ago. It's pathetic.
She
It's
says,
allowed, we're allowed to beg the
wrong.
sphere because we know we're on a sphere. Yeah, that's your fundy belief.
And her comeback.
You don't understand.
And her comeback. Nuh-uh. You don't understand. That's what their arguments are.
Right.
Sorry, Brian, you've been trying to get in there for ages and I keep interrupting you. I'll shout out the super chat after. Go ahead.
Well, me, no, I was going to say. I was going to say 1 or 2 things, just in comments. They're gone now. Time has passed. No big deal. Thanks.
Fair enough.
Well, I will say one
Hey,
thing.
shameless plug time after your shout outs. Thanks.
Hold on. Brian, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. I will say one thing. Something I was saying earlier. Just about the planes. The MiG-25 Foxbat flies at a speed of 40.83 miles, at the top speed of 40.83 miles a minute. Does not account for curve or drop. That's it. Thanks.
You say 40 miles a minute?
Yeah, 40.83 miles a minute. Fastest supersonic jet in the world.
So it's doing like almost 3/4 of a mile a second.
Yeah, it's crazy. At top speed.
That's
yeah,
insanely fast.
Yeah.
What was your point? Sorry, I got lost up in the, the tech of planes for a second there. What was your point? Drop, presumably.
Oh, no, my point is that it does not account for drop. There is nothing within the workings of a plane, regardless of what type of plane, that accounts for drop or curvature. So flying at 40.83 miles per minute, there is no possible way that you could account for that. The only way for that to happen is in a belief, because at the speed you're moving at, it's absolutely ridiculous. You could probably go from London to Birmingham in probably a couple of minutes.
I don't think it would be possible for them to build a plane that could continually have the flaps sort of like taking the wind turbulence at that sort of speed to be constantly adjusting for Earth curvature. It would have to be, those flaps would have to constantly be causing resistance against the air to pull, so that the plane nose down around the curve. I feel it would just rip the plane apart, surely.
I agree.
So, well, again, what about the Concorde? that remember that plane that used to do like about Mach 2, guys? 1,200 miles per hour or something like that? Flying from London to JFK in about like 2 hours or so? I mean, how is that accounting for curvature at 1,200 miles per hour at 47,000 feet? I mean, that's just nonsense. And the people on the plane are just sipping their drinks and having dinner and it's okay? Nah, man. That's insanity.
Hey, shameless plug before you close out, Nathan.
We're only halfway through, but go ahead. So Quantum Erasers is doing a channel on a show on evolution this evening. So UK time 7 p.m, Central Standard Time 1 p.m. So be here or be Sphere on the Quantum Eraser channel. I'll be joining and believe Bible literalist, correct?
Yeah, a few people are going to be on there. It's part 3 of a 4-part series on fairy tale evolution. That's today at 1 p.m. U.S. Central. And this Saturday, the world premiere of Ball Busters, the new Ball Busters, Saturday, 1 p.m. U.S. Central, 7 p.m. UK. You got to be there for this, folks. Thanks.
Yeah, on the docket for Ball Busters is McWestian 2-Space. Be here or
Pseudo
be Sphere.
McWestian.
Pseudo McWestian 2-Space on the Quantum Eraser channel, Saturday, 7 p.m. UK, 1 p.m. Central Standard. Be here or be Sphere.
Of the new world premiere of Ball Busters. You gotta be there.
Shout out to Dave Rakia Gafford, who says, hard hearts and darkness only saved by the Saviour, the light, the great I am, Jesus Christ, seek him. Thank you very much for the super chat. Really appreciate your support, Dave Rakia Gafford.
Guys, where are we in housekeeping?
Any scientific evidence of gravity?
What the hell is that?
There's a sale on gravity blankets ending today, though, so act quickly. USA Today reported on it.
I've already got one. And my Coriolis insurance. Any signs of axial rotation?
No axis.
Yeah, you might need an axis before axial rotation.
Plus, you cannot have an axis on an object that doesn't have a hole for the axis. Or you cannot presuppose
The sky
the axis with an object that doesn't have a
seems to
specific
be
center.
revolving around an axis of sorts.
The sky seems to be moving around an axis.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it's revolving around a point very close to what we call the North Star. That's what I see every night.
Yeah, but that's the sky, though.
Yeah,
We're told that it's the ground that's spinning.
Does that tell you how big the dance floor is?
Yeah, it's pretty
No,
big dance.
no
floor.
evidence of the ground moving around any axis, as far as I can tell. No.
One of the things they used is a globe proof, the EQ mount telescope, that actually disproves rotation due to its polar alignment, and disproves elliptical orbits or any kind of movement of the Earth.
Any evidence of a... Sorry, Brian, go ahead.
No, I'm finished now. This one. Sorry.
Any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth?
That's a lot of presuppositions. But no evidence of that either. Not on Discord.
Any evidence?
There are no.
Go ahead.
There are no spaceball experiments.
What about gas pressure without a container? Shout out to Dr. Daniel Faulkner.
Absolutely not. None at all. No evidence whatsoever of gas pressure without a container. I don't know how much more I can stress this.
Is that Doctor, that clown that referenced a quote unquote experiment by a guy that had containers to contain,
but multiple containers? Yes, right.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Got it.
Okay, well, last but by no means least, as this has been the focus of the show for the majority of it, pre-show and live show, any evidence of the R value, the presupposition of a spherical Earth itself? Earth radius.
No curvature on the plane.
Again, that would take us back to question numero uno. Where is the curvature? You need curvature to have a radius.
They claim that our value as being the horizon, and that's their proof. And that the higher up you go, you've got a field of view, which will give you a circle. And they claim that as being Earth curvature, not just a field of view. So they're confusing a field of view with an arbitrary place called the horizon.
Yeah, spot on.
The radius that they speak of is only, as Chocolate said, I think it was Chocolate just said, the radius they speak of is only possible as long as there is a curve of 8 inches per mile squared. And it has to be exactly that. That's the only way that that's possible. Because the distances, the actual distance from the what would be the geographic north pole to the equator is over 6,000 miles, whereas their radius is under 4,000 miles. From southern Finland, Helsinki, in southern Finland, to Libreville, which is 40 miles north of the equator, is 4,212 miles. So that's already more. From southern Finland to Libreville is already more by a couple of hundred miles than the radius that they presuppose. So they have to find a curve, otherwise the radius for a geographic north radius, the equator, is over 6,000 miles.
My focus in this regard remains the fact that the fundamentalists who come here assume that it's perfectly acceptable to start their example with the presupposition of an R value. That's how all of their arguments begin. So it doesn't matter if it's Brenda using the quote-unquote actual horizon and it being based on what happens if you look from a sphere. That's the presupposition in action. Well, Earth has that spherical property because I assume it has an R value. Or the airline pilot talking about horizon dip and saying, well, I'm going to measure out and then that's going to give me a match to the R value in the standard model when I measure this not actual location called the horizon. Shout out to Chico 2J, who says the Rumpus and Brenda can EAD. I think that means eat a dick. Thank you very much for the super chat. Yeah, but that's it. Their assumption is that it's acceptable to beg the question. Oh, it's fine. We already know it's a sphere, so my example starting out by begging the question is perfectly fine.
Yeah, they hide the distances with the outside of the curve, because the radius from the center of this supposed globe Earth is shorter than the curve would be from the North Pole to the equator, and that's how they hide it. And most of the land is in the northern, the inner part of the Earth, the north, and the land on the outside in the southern part, it doesn't go any further than 60. I think it's 59 or 60 degrees south of the equator. So basically, they've hidden distances around the outside of a sphere, and they claim a radius of less than 4,000, 3,995 miles or something like that. But they've hidden the distances on the outside. So it's like they will say, "Oh no, but the distances, there's no problem with the distances because it's all taken in by the curve." But they have never proven the curve. But they ever.
Well, Kosho said in the pre-show that they proved the curve with a curved camera. Now, why would the Globers need a fisheye lens to prove something that's already curved? So they're already admitting that in order to show a picture of the Earth, a photograph or whatever, they need a fisheye lens. Well, if the Earth is a ball, why do you need a fisheye lens? Someone posted that you could see the curve from the Concorde at 50,000 feet. The only problem is you can't see it from a high altitude balloon at 120,000 feet. So all we want from you ballers is the truth. Show us a single viable scientific hypothesis for your claims.
Shout out to Isa Mahalski, who says the heliocentric model, or the Big Bang, let's just read it. It's scrolled off screen just as I was about to start reading it. The heliocentric Big Bang cosmology cannot be disproven, but we reject the horror of a non-fixed position on philosophical grounds. Sure you got that right, Issa? Or if you change that quote slightly?
That's really scientific.
Thank you for
The
the super
horror.
chat. Also,
the horror is waiting at the bottom of the glass.
Just one more shout out. Shout out to theflatearthchannel.com for the super chat as well. Sent me a super sticker coffee cup. Really appreciate your support. Thank you very much.
I was saying the horror that they're trying to avoid so desperately is waiting at the bottom of the glass. They blasphemed the Creator all their life. They can't have him be true now.
Was Kosho insinuating that the Red Bull Felix Baumgartner jump wasn't a GoPro lens?
He's saying they used a curved camera. Now, we know what he means is a fisheye lens.
What's a curved camera?
Well, that's what I'm saying. He just means a fisheye lens. No such thing as a curved camera.
Hold on. Is this going to end up in Jibby getting a... what exactly are you referencing in the Baumgarten video of note, Jibby?
Well, I just want to know if he knew that those were GoPro lenses being used, because a lot of people I know immediately reference that Red Bull jump and say, well, there's the curvature right there. Instead of what? Planet Arizona?
Yeah, but where? What are you referring to?
Off to the side, see the horizon.
What are you referring to in those images? You don't know where I'm leading you, I can tell.
The bendy Earth?
The bendy Earth, you say? What specifically is it that we're looking at that implies that? GoPro or otherwise? What is it we're looking at exactly?
The horizon.
The horizon, you say? Oh, really? What's that?
The apparent.
Apparent, you say? That's interesting. So, as flat earthers, we often refer to some of these high altitude non-GoPro images or videos and say, look, it's flat. Well, what's flat? The not actual location where the sky appears to meet the ground. Well, that's fascinating.
Yeah. But in that situation, is that where the apparent ground, well, the ground, the Earth meets space?
Basically, this is why this show's been titled R Value. It's useful for flat earthers to use the horizon rises to eye level argument because it leads both parties in an argument about globe versus flat earth into a reification of a not actual location. So you as a flat earther, I'm not saying you, GP, but anybody, would say, well, the horizon rises to eye level, and look at these high altitude images where we don't see the horizon bending. Well, so what? Who gives a shit? It's a not actual location. The reality is we don't have any drop, and as you look across the flat plane, ignoring all horizons, not actual locations, you can see that the ground you're flying above, and I've seen this with my own eyes, is flat as a pancake. Forget the horizon, who gives a shit? It's a not actual location. This does, however, leave you with one question. If the horizon is a not actual location, and in your heads-up display, if you're a fighter, or in your heads-up display on an airliner, they've got a not actual horizon that they can see through their display, and then a fairly consistent straight line that they fly towards that's above it. Well, that could only imply one thing. They're flying flat.
Yep, Earth is obviously and observably flat.
Yeah.
Exactly. Can I add something to what I said earlier about the MiG-25?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just because you mentioned planes again. Because it's flying at just over 40 miles a minute, after 5 minutes, it would have covered 200 miles. And the drop it would need to have taken into account, or at least have gone over, is just over 5 miles of drop. If, according to the globe model, obviously not in reality, but in the globe model, it would have had to deal with 5 miles of drop within 5 minutes of flight at top speed. The MiG-25 could easily fly at top speed for a lot longer than 5 minutes.
So would that put you at a slight angle downward in your seat while sticking to the back of the seat because of velocity?
Your coke can definitely be on the window above you anyway, that's for sure.
Hey guys, can I show you a picture?
Yeah, go ahead. And then I'm going to read out a Sleeping Warrior message to Quantum Eraser from Ballbusters once you've got your screen. Are you sharing already?
Yeah, I just wanted to quickly remind you about that, how we ended up being lied to, that Earth is a flying ball. And it turns out that NASA landed supposedly on the moon, but they lost the technology. And I found out today who else lost the technology to do something for the last 70 years. And that's mainstream chemistry. Because nowadays, this is what they told us is their best picture of an atom. And it's so sad because 70 years ago, we used to have this in full color atoms. How did that happen? We've gone from this 1952 to this 2015-16. Somebody tell me.
I don't have an answer for you.
Yeah, this on the screen now. One of it is iron, and the other one is honey made from bees. And the circles you see are actually atoms in color.
Fascinating.
Yeah, found it today. Really amazed. Should be on the cover of every chemistry textbook.
So, are you on Tenterhook's Quantum Eraser? Can I read out the original message from Sleeping Warrior to yourself?
Yeah, that's fine.
Huey, I've had a guy respond to the cited, quote, "gravity is not a force," end quote, video I did yesterday. He's watched it and basically claimed that we don't understand because we have simply cherry-picked. It's worth responding to with a hangout. Let's address him, question mark. And then Quantum Eraser's response was, ready. So, I don't know if you want to do that now.
What's there to do? I mean, first define cherry pick, then show how we cherry pick. I'll bet he doesn't even know what cherry pick means, as per usual. So I don't see how I cherry pick 12 citations. Dude, buddy.
I think the problem is that some of the places that you got those citations from, what you didn't do is grab hold of the entire reference, give it a big warm hug, and hold it close to your heart.
I missed that.
So there's an issue where people don't understand the difference between citations and references. So if you take a citation, obviously you have to take it with context from your reference. Now your reference, 5 pages on, might declare that they believe in Satanism, quite overtly. It doesn't change your citation, and it doesn't mean that you have to believe in Satanism because it's in the same reference. That's nonsensical. Shout out to Awaken Narrative, who says there's no flucking curvature. Right. Thank you for the super chat, Awaken Narrative. Really appreciate your support.
Nathan, can you read that one part of Sleeping Warrior's reference to what that guy said about gravity as a force?
Is it further down in Ballbusters?
Well, the one you just read to John from Sleeping Warrior. What was the main thing is the guy is saying gravity is a force and we're saying it's not. Is that what he's saying?
I have had a guy respond to the cited, quote, "gravity is not a force," end quote, video I did yesterday. He's watched it and basically claimed we don't understand because we have simply cherry-picked. It's worth responding to him, blah, blah, blah.
Has he seen George Musser say it's not a force?
Perhaps not.
It's not our claim. It's their guy saying it's not a force.
These are the same guys that tell you that when you see a building in the distance that it's been loomed up behind Earth curvature. I wouldn't pay any attention to them. They're insane.
Yeah, well put. When we say clock tower, oil rig, Chicago skyline, they say no. A slightly looming non-standard refraction hyena holographic projection of the Chicago skyline from behind the reified edge of an Earth curve based on a horizon, a not actual location where the sky appears to meet the ground, being reified into an Earth curve edge based on an R value and a begging the question. Proof of nothing, perspective hijacking curve calculator. Not just the Chicago skyline that you can see. A projection from behind my reified Earth edge.
I'd like to finish the train of thought that you were saying a citation, but then you read the reference. So when George Musser said gravity is not a force, if you completely read the whole statement, it's magical, and we don't need to be at the really is level. So the full reference goes on. What? Chocolate has this down great. That your own guy, George Musser, says it's not a force. So when Anthony says gravity's not a force, he's arguing with his side as well as our side.
And with that, I'll say if you are watching this on the Nathan Oakley premiering stream, then stay tuned as there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, if you're watching this live on the Nathan Oakley live stream, then this is where we bid you farewell. A huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of today's Discord and G Plus panels for making this live show possible. And of course, a massive thank you to all of you in the live chat for making the super chats and sharing, subscribing, and all that good stuff. As I say, stay tuned if you're watching on Nathan Oakley premiering stream, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!